Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I would like to say thank you for coming to my presentation. It's great to see you all. Okay, let me introduce myself. I'm Yudi Teguh Pambudi, and I'm a member of Department of Sport Science, Bandung Institute of Technology, Indonesia. On this occasion, I will try to share the result of our research under the title The Effect of Having Exercise in Air Polluted Environment PM2.5 Toward Blood Pressure Response. Back to the first point of this presentation, please allow me to provide a little background on our research. Ladies and gentlemen, as we know that physical activity or exercise regularly can have a positive impact in the form of increasing the level of health and fitness. Exercise can also reduce the risk of death such as hypertension and obesity. Environmental condition must be a concern when we do exercising. One of environmental conditions that increase the risk during exercise is air pollution. Bad air pollution conditions are difficult to avoid, especially for urban communities or near industrial areas. One of the pollution type is fine particle with a diameter of less than 2.5 micron, or we know as PM2.5. PM2.5 can be inhaled through the alveoli and the lungs and enter the bloodstream, causing health problems. Poor air pollution condition can be found in several cities and occupied residential areas in Indonesia. The use of energy in Indonesia is still dominant in environmentally unfriendly energy. This phenomenon can be found in occupied residential areas of West Karawang district, West Java, Indonesia, where this area is the capital of the regency and close to the Karawang International Industrial Center. And another area which is far from urban and industrial center is Rengas Dengklok district, West Java, Indonesia. Based on theory, these two regions have different level of air pollution due to difference in the distance from air pollution sources. Contradiction between the need for regular exercise and PM2.5 exposure present an interesting challenge to balance the advantages and disadvantages. At the end of Are the air pollution conditions in the two regions significantly different due to the distance from air pollution sources, and how the impact of different air pollution conditions are especially on the blood pressure response of individuals who routinely exercise in the area. The study used a quasi-experimental method with comparison group approach. The research location in Karawang Regency, West Java, Indonesia consists of two sites. The first is Singapore Bangsa Stadium and the second is Cinta Lake area. Total of participants were 22 undergraduate students. The study includes criteria where health and normal body mass index. Participants are directed to cite the informed consent if they are willing to participate as a participants in this study. The two groups of participants occupied one of the two research sites. The pressure was measuring using the automatic blood pressure response monitor by Omron, Japan. Blood pressure measurement was taken 10 minutes before exercise to determine the blood pressure baseline and immediately after training in each training session to determine the blood pressure response. During the measurement, participants rested in the sit area position their right arm to place on the table parallel with heart and do not any talking activities. During the study, the participants were asked to avoid places with high air pollution, except for the study site, not doing the other heavy physical activities rather than the treatment given by researchers. not to consume alcohol, supplement, and drugs, and to report their health condition to the researchers. Okay, this result and discussion table 1 show that the mean plus or minus standard deviation of X, height, weight, and body mass index do not show significantly difference. And table 2 show that amount of air pollution with the type of PM2.5 and CO2 at Singapore Bangsa Stadion is greater when compared to Lake height, where other parameters such as temperature, relative humidity, and altitude do not differ significantly. For blood pressure response at baseline, there was not significantly different for systolic and diastolic. There was an increase in the systolic and diastolic arterial pressure at Singapore Bangsa Stadion and Lake site. But our research showed that regularly exercise for 5 days in an environment with higher air pollution, the result at higher systolic and diastolic arterial pressure than in the lower air pollution condition. The result of the blood pressure response tend to be stable. This indicates the better value of arterial pressure response while doing physical activity or exercising in the area are lower air pollution conditions. The results of the study are relevant with previous study which states that air pollution effect in increase in the blood pressure during air pollution condition. The finding of suggests doing physical activity or exercising in the high PM2.5 air pollution condition has an effect on blood pressure response, although individuals with health status are less affected. The negative effect caused by air pollution, especially PM2.5 in the occupied residential, should not be neglected. It should be anticipated because exercising can increase air ventilation rate, which can cause air pollution, can be inhaled into the air valley and in the lungs and enter the bloodstream. It needs to be a concern from vulnerable groups. The blood pressure response, the blood pressure caused by PM2.5 may be even more dangerous. Okay, the conclusion and the findings of this study indicate a need to control air pollution in the world, especially in Indonesia. In addition, need to check air pollution condition regularly and report to the public as a consideration for doing physical activities or exercising. Therefore, everyone should consider the air pollution concentration in the environment before exercising or doing physical activity. Even more, it needs to be concerned of some vulnerable groups such as elderly people and hypertensive sufferers. Thank you for your kind attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.